Hello again and welcome to another episode of the Franchise Everything podcast where we talk about everything and anything franchising. And you might be able to hear in the background, we're at the Melbourne Franchising and Business Opportunities Expo and we're doing live audience podcasts and everything and live streaming. And also something a little bit different today, a whole bunch for you to enjoy and watch. So we've got Meron Sleiman with us right now now let me get this right, Meron. You are the Master Franchise Owner for the entire Victoria state for the UrbanClean commercial cleaning brand.
That's correct. Yes,
that is correct, isn't it? I'm glad I got it right, mate. We've got titles and stuff all over the place today. So thank you. You're the pretty much the 10th or 11th podcast today. So mate, there's been a few hiccups, and you're going to get the perfect one now. It's going to be absolutely perfect. So mate, you're UrbanClean, so you're commercial cleaning. Tell me a little bit about the business for those who don't know the brand.
Oh well, with UrbanClean, we specialize in the commercial sector. We look after customers in offices, medical centers, gymnasiums, childcare centers, schools.
So you don't do any domestic at all? You're just commercial, is that right?
No, we're just commercial, yes. Everything that we do is all done after hours.
So is that the main difference? So the difference between domestic and commercial cleaning? I mean, because people who've got no idea about the cleaning business have no idea about it, as I've learned in the last few days, because I presented up at your conference the other day.
Yes.
There's a lot to know about it. So what is the difference mainly that you see between commercial and domestic, and why there's the pull to commercial for you?
Oh, well, with domestic, it's majority of the time that you're out on the site, that you're cleaning, there's someone there.
Yeah.
You're working around them, they're working around you. Yeah, so it becomes kind of
a bit more complex.
Yeah. It's with the commercial, you have key access. You work within your own speed. You pay attention to more detail, and obviously delivering the customer satisfaction.
And you're doing it after hours mostly, aren't you?
Yes.
So offices after hours, all that sort of stuff.
Offices are after hours. Medical centers, once they close and patients are gone, and that's where we'll go in. And
I can picture headphones in, away you go.
That's it. Yes, yeah. Yes. So you're in your own little headspace over there, and
I bet. And so we're talking with you about your franchise owner journey, but a regional master franchise owner journey. So just describe the master franchise that you have. So how does that work? So you have a unit level franchise, which would own, say, a territory, a few suburbs, correct, and then you own the state, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole point when we started out, to be honest with you. It was just when we come in.
You were just going to own one territory.
It was just one territory.
And now you own them all.
We weren't even, I wasn't even looking at commercial cleaning either. So it was just by accident, it just popped up.
Yep.
And so I had a chat with Damien, and we liked what was on offer, and we purchased. And 2 years later, we ended up getting the whole state.
Yeah, and Damien's the founder of UrbanClean.
Correct.
Damien Boehm. So now, previous, you told me about this. I didn't know this originally when I interviewed you once before, but you're an ex-food business franchise owner for many years, weren't you?
Correct. Yes. So we've been in the food industry for about 20 years.
Yeah.
And that was one of the, being in the hospitality sector just takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, the long hours, weekends, and
7 days a week, you're looking at, 12 to 17 hours, sometimes days. No lifestyle. So that's where it started, got married, kids started coming in, and, I was missing everything.
Yeah, you weren't at home.
Wasn't home, missing out on kids, doing the, first steps. Kids are going to school, didn't have the opportunity to go out and drop them off and pick them up, or even just spending, some, few minutes with them in school. So that kind of started, weighing up on my mind, and I'm like, you know what? Let's look into something different. And that's
where it came from. So you're in business. You've been in business many years with your brother Kameran.
That's correct. Yes.
So how many years have you been in business together?
We've been together since day one, to be honest. So over 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And what's it like working with your brother every day?
Oh, look, it's amazing. Obviously
he's in the audience.
He is. So you have your ups and downs, but it's end of the day. We are family.
Yep.
We put everything to a side, and the next day starts all over again.
Starts all over again. So, okay, so you had a food business, a fast food franchise business, and what was the point there? So you decided to move out of that. Was the process of getting out of that to then look for something else?
Basically, before we even started, exiting out of the other chain, was that we was just looking something to generate cash flow until we figure out exactly which path me and Cameron wanted to take.
But you knew you didn't want fast food.
No, definitely, it was definitely no food. It was just something different. Not quite sure what. It was just something that all we wanted was flexibility, freedom, and having that time up our sleeves that we do whatever we like. For example, something as simple as picking up our kids from school. So and that's when I accidentally bumped into UrbanClean.
So how did you find it? So that process of you, and I know you said you told me previously you found UrbanClean when you still had the other business, didn't you?
Correct. Yes.
So what was that like? What, you were looking on one of the portal sites or something at franchise opportunities? Was it definitely a franchise you were going for again, by the way?
It was.
Or you
yes,
open,
yes, because I wanted something that it's proven. Something where there was an opportunity for us to expand and grow. And when we came into UrbanClean, it was still very young at that stage, and that's what drew us into the whole system. To be honest with you, was that the fact that the opportunity to expand and grow was enormous.
Yeah. So you originally came on looking for cash flow, one territory and everything. So how long until you came? So what was the process of getting on board? So I know you went up and visited Damien, had a chat with him. So talk us through what it was like in getting on board.
Yeah. Actually made a quick phone call to Damien, and he was in Brisbane. And 2 days later, we jumped on a plane and went off to Brizzy, and we met up with Damien. And it was actually pretty quick. By the time we finished off the day, after 8 hours, we said, you know what? I like what this offers. Me and Cameron signed the papers and contacted the solicitors. Let's get things going.
Let's get rolling. So was that the territory you're buying or the region?
So that was the territory.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So what was the start into the business like?
Obviously, for us, it was a little bit challenging at the beginning. Not used to, not used to going out and do sales. We're used to customers coming onto us and purchasing.
Yeah.
So that was very new to us. And yes, we didn't do a lot of cleaning at the beginning, but at the same time, the growth and the speed of the growth, and it was by accident actually that we were doing a mentoring session with Damien and Kirk, and that's when he mentioned there's an opportunity to purchase the state. And after we finished the session, we picked up the phone call. I'm like, hey Damien, what was that? Say
again.
Yeah. So that was that was the whole turning point, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So now it's so we get to see and mentor and bring on franchisees that we're helping them to change their lives, bringing their goals that they never thought of that was possible. Franchisees that are on $30,000 to $50,000 a month.
Yeah.
So it's.
And this is the thing that I'm trying to get my head around as well. I didn't realize there is money in cleaning, right? And I don't vouch for any franchises. People know there's nothing. I'm not talking about you specifically, but when I'm explained the business models for cleaning franchises, I'm thinking, gosh, yeah, there's certainly something in there. It's a very different approach that someone wouldn't ordinarily. Everyone thinks franchise, thinks fast food, thinks whatever, right? This is a very different approach in how you guys operate it. And so you have teams of cleaners going out. Even when you are a franchise owner, you can have teams of people going out and doing cleaning in other locations for you, and you're managing that.
Correct, yes. And that's the whole goal that we focus on to our franchises, because we've personally been into that situation where that you're almost a prisoner in your own business.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the main goals that the second goal that I ask any potential franchisees, what goals?
Yep. What
What
goals
have you set for yourself? Because going and, obviously to come on board, you'll be hands-on, but I'm trying to get you into that position where you got a team working for you. You're just managing and operating your team.
So it's not this whole thing about that person necessarily franchise owner running out cleaning everything. They're managing teams of people to clean.
And that's and that's what it's when we're looking for potential franchisees is that this isn't a job. You are not applying for a job
to be a cleaner. Yeah.
You are coming in to be an independent business owner, to be your own boss.
Yep.
You'll be managing and communicating with your customers. We mentor the franchisees in knowing the hardest part, being moving from being an employee to from an employer to an employee is that managing the staff.
Yes.
And that's one of the hardest transitions that we come across.
Yeah. I think Damien was talking about the key in your business being relationships.
Oh,
and
100%.
It's not just like you have nothing to do with the businesses you are cleaning for or anything like that, but it's relationships with the business owners and helping them with their goals.
Yes, and that is one of our, is what we actually call the glue of the business. It's relationships. Without relationship, you basically have nothing.
Yep.
And that's one of the key factors is when a franchisee starts to realize that, hey, we are not just the staff members here. We're not on wages. Is that when they pick up the phone call and say, hey, it's so-and-so from UrbanClean, how's everything going?
Yep.
And that is one of the...
Yeah. That's building relationships with customers, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that's, being in the cleaning industry, not many people experience that.
No, they wouldn't.
So when we make those phone calls and we are designing and organizing the clean to the customer's needs, so it's not our team isn't just going out there cleaning for sake of cleaning. So our cleaning is focused on customers' needs and delivering on that.
Excellent. So what does a day in the life of Meron look like? So when you're running your regional empire in Victoria, and of Kameran probably as well, what's your day in the life?
So we usually start, basically it's a lot of phone calls, a lot of meetings, talking to franchisees, making sure that they are, doing the auditing and, they're communicating with the customers.
What's the auditing? Sorry, is it checking that the cleaning's being done properly?
Yes. Yes, we have monthly audits that every franchisee does on every single month.
Yep.
To all their sites, and that gets sent out to the customer and followed by a phone call and just saying, I've just flicked you through an audit that we did and how's everything going. And we also use that to gain a lot of referrals from our existing customers.
Yes.
So it's a lot of people think that it's just cleaning. I can pick up a mop, a vacuum, and hey, I'm a cleaner. Yeah. So it's a lot more. Yeah. It's a lot more involved, and that's why all the customers that we've had been with us since day one. So we're not looking to win a contract for a month or 6 months or a year.
You want to retain them is key, isn't it?
Correct. Lifelong customers, and that's how you have a solid foundation in your business so you can grow. So
are you doing much as far as recruitment of new franchisees go? Because you sell for franchises within your territory, don't you? That's another part of your role, isn't it?
Yes, pretty much. I pretty much do every single recruiting.
That's what you're doing. So that's what your day in the life
is. That's So for you to come on board, you will end up talking to me. Yes.
So what sort of territories? So how many territories are you sort of looking? You're always looking for good people, obviously, for franchises.
Oh, absolutely.
You've got quite a bit more growth considering you've got the whole Victorian state.
Yes, we got the whole state. So there is no
There's
the
no
whole
cap.
territory is Victoria.
There's so much cleaning. Victoria needs a lot of cleaning.
Look, the industry is enormous.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
I think that's maybe we can talk a bit on that. I think people don't quite realise the way that it all works is that you would come in and get, say, a 1 or 2 year contract for an office, wouldn't you?
Yes.
And then you knock on the next door and say, hey, we're cleaning that office. And then it just becomes like a
Correct.
snowball effect.
Yes. And once the potential customers see what we have an offer, and that's and they compare us to their existing, and they see the detail of the scope on that,
the professionalism,
how we do the clean, and how they're gonna how we're gonna solve their problems.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's why UrbanClean is growing at a pace that it is.
Yeah, excellent. And it has grown quite remarkably over the last few years.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, mate, thank you for telling. Well, actually, before we do that, let's talk about the future. What's your future goal? What does the next 3 to 5 years look like? Because I was about to wrap it all up then, but I think we should crystal ball it a little bit. What are you and Cameron looking to achieve within your marketplace or beyond within the next 3 to 5 years? What does it look like?
I would say dominate the small to medium size sector.
Mm-hmm.
By saying that, we're not trying to be the number one, but when I say dominate, I want to dominate the satisfaction in delivering satisfactory cleaning to all of our customers, and also working with our franchisees, growing and exceeding their expectations in being financially independent.
Yep.
Meeting and exceeding their goals on what they were expecting. So, and that's one of the great things that I love about this, is that we're constantly seeing that with our franchisees, buying their dream cars, paying off their mortgage a lot quicker, investing into other business. So that's
must be very satisfying.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent, Meron. That's a great way. That's a perfect way to finish, I think. Don't you reckon?
No, thank you.
Excellent, mate. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure,
thank
mate.
you.
And that's it for another one of the Franchise Everything podcast. If you like, please subscribe, share, do all that sort of stuff. Tell everyone about it. Share it around. Let's get more people into business and growing businesses and profitable in Australia. We'll catch you in the next one soon.